What's up, dude bros? How we doing this evening?
Doing good,
Hanging
Brian.
loose.
Hello, everybody. This is SportsBallTalk, and we are getting fresh into bowl season. We got GB at the bottom, and as always, we got the dude. I think we got some cool ones coming up. It's always fun to hop right into the opening day, we'll call it, Uh, Army Navy. Who's excited about Army Navy? Anybody? Anybody? I think somebody might have been in the Navy or served in the armed forces. I don't know.
Well, I'm just going to go out there and say this is technically still a regular season game. This is
Right.
not part of the actual bowl sequence yet. That being said, a victory from Navy here puts them in the top of the conference, I believe, over a North Texas team and a Tulane team. And it seems to me like maybe the midshipmen deserve a shot at the college football playoffs.
Ooh, that would be spicy.
Ooh, get Pavia to send a letter. Call
I
Trumpy
believe
Poo.
they're destined to go play the Bearcats though
Mhm.
after this game is over.
Is that the
which
Venezuelan state?
I'm very excited to see that matchup as well.
Yeah. I know this isn't exactly a bowl game, but this is that yearly game that I don't really care which spectrum you're on. Everybody's heard of the Army-Navy game. And if you haven't watched at least a couple of them, I mean, I don't want to say every Army-Navy game is the same, but I don't remember hearing of any 4,000 or 5,000 yard passers on either one of these teams at any point in history. So it's pretty obvious that this is old school football. This is running the football. This is getting your good offensive line. And it's really kind of scary how similar these teams are. One has obviously had a better year than the other. Navy's
Right.
9-2. Army is limping into bowl season at wimpy 6-5. So,
But the last part of their season's been very solid.
sure. I mean, Kale Hummond's been pretty solid, man. I mean, to be that triple option, I'm pretty sure that he is the leading rusher on the team. Noah Short is technically their slot receiver. So it's kind of weird to see the slot receiver with the second most yards on the team, and then the running back Noah Short, or Jake Redina, coming in limping in third. So it's just the offense definitely goes through one person on the Army, and if he doesn't show up, this is going to be pretty. I don't know. It's going to be kind of tough. What are you guys thinking?
I mean, I'll switch right back over to the Navy side there. You're looking at a quarterback who's leading the team in passing yards and then also in rushing yards.
Mm-hmm.
Not something you see every day. Something you're seeing every now and then, and normally get a lot more attention. And I think had Navy not had a few unfortunate series of circumstances, particularly the North Texas game, I think if that debacle would not have transpired, then we would be absolutely seeing the Navy in the playoffs. This would be a 2-touchdown line on this game instead of the one, which, by the way, Navy is going to cover. Go Navy all the way.
Yeah, as you said, this is a very exciting rivalry. And the last 9 meetings, Army has actually pulled it out, and it's usually only a 1-score difference anytime these teams get together, except for last year, which, if you recall, was a very exciting game. It came early in the fourth quarter. Navy went for a fake punt, which ended up being the dagger that put Army down as they got 2 possessions up after that next touchdown.
Yeah.
That was the biggest difference we've seen in several years, and I have to feel like I think that is what we're going to see coming up on Saturday. I think Navy will, as the dude has said, absolutely cover the 6.5 points. I'm also leaning toward this being an over game. I mean, this is the over-under is a lot lower than we typically see on any given Saturday, but as you had mentioned, Brian, this is classic football here. Army is just going to do what they do best, and they're just going to they're going to try and hit those gaps and ram down as much as they can on Navy. But
Pause.
I don't think this really, as the dude had mentioned, Blake Horvath as the dual threat quarterback there. I mean, that is the entirety
The
of the game.
duelist of threats.
Depending on what Army's defense can do about that situation, that's what it's going to come down to.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for it regardless, but I absolutely see and think Navy will cover this one and we will go over. What about you, Brian?
Yeah, I'm with you guys all the way here. Navy is just they're too much for them. They just don't match up well. And that dual quarterback you guys are talking about, Horvath, is just he's kind of nasty with that, man. It's like I said, these offenses are very similar. They want to run the ball. Offense goes through running the football and pitching. I mean, that's what they got. I don't think either one of these quarterbacks have had a 300-yard a game this season.
Right.
It's obviously heavy run. That's what they do. Get down nitty gritty in the trenches. Make sure your big boys up front are blocking out and do what you can do. I don't think that line is quite fair enough either. I think that wonky stuff that you mentioned, dude, back in the UNT game. To be fair, Army and Navy lost to UNT. And then we also saw what happened to UNT. So I think you got a good argument that if Navy hadn't lost that game, they would absolutely be right there to be in contention to be in the football playoff.
If I can interject on that, if that had happened though, Notre Dame would be in the playoff because Notre Dame definitively beat Navy as well.
Yeah.
And so they would use that as an excuse.
Who would Notre Dame be playing though? Alabama in the first rounds.
That would be exciting, but I think that would absolutely have that domino effect. But back to you, Brian.
We're in the ifs, ands, but world, fantasy land.
I mean, to add to y'all's point, though, that Notre Dame game was a whooping. That was a whooping. That was the worst whooping they've had in a couple of years. So, I mean, I think Notre Dame had to do that just in case, but it didn't pan out for them either. And seeing that was something really disappointing for me. And going into the NIL and the CFP and all this, and now that I mean, there's no backdooring it. The college football D1, that is training day. It always has been for the NFL. And these kids that are getting paid really good money are figuring out, I need to stay healthy to get to the next level, to get to the next level of that money, and blah, 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 blah. So to see, I think we're up to 10 teams that have opted out of bowl games this year, including Notre Dame, Kansas State. I mean, they are getting slapped with $500,000 fines for not playing. And it comes down to a business decision for these kids. And that's kind of sad because it's almost killing off bowl season because there's, you got your teams who aren't really got a lot to fight for, but they've got 3 or 4 really good players on that team, and they're just going to sit back. And if that's I don't like it, what it's done to this. So, I mean, it kind of is a drag with bowl season getting to the CFP now, it kind of feels like. I mean, do you guys feel the same way about that or what?
There'll definitely be another change that gets into place at some point. Now, as far as the teams that are opting out, yes, there are some of those that are doing it because they have players that are holding out for better prospects. But some teams, they're without a coach. They're without all of their star players that have gone out. I mean, Auburn's a good example for that. So you're getting this new entire system that's coming into place. You're not going to go workshop that in a bowl game. And I completely understand that. On the flip side, though, you have teams like Notre Dame who are taking it as approach for making a statement. I think personally it's just a little petty. I would think if you want to let everybody know that you're a team deserving to be in that playoff, go out there and show us by beating the team that you play in your bowl game, which would have been a good game. What about you, dude?
So I'm going to put something out there that I think is perhaps a fairly equitable way of approaching this unique time that we're in. I think perhaps the bowl game situation will condense. I know in our lifetimes we went from having like 4 bowl games to 40. I think we might see some of those condense, and it's going to have to be where each player is getting compensated from that bowl itself. And obviously the bowl's going to have to pay the teams and then also give them their little scooter and Chick-fil-A pass package and all the other little goodie bag that they get. But I think they're going to have to really look at some dollars and cents there. And some of these bowls are just not going to have a marketable enough product, unfortunately, to keep that going. Whereas maybe even as soon as a year or two after we've had, the movie gallery bowl get sold off and things like that. I was
waiting for that.
Maybe we even start seeing them build back up, or maybe a new model where we see maybe teams playing in multiple bowl games where you have like a round robin type consolation par, whatever you want to throw on there for the people who don't make it, out of the first round of the playoffs, second round of the playoffs, because the playoff will inevitably expand as well. Who's to say if I'm ranked number 2, I come into the playoffs with maybe one loss or maybe no losses and happen to get paired up against the team that I lose to and everybody thought I was going to win. I think my team and my boys out there would like to go and play another game or two and show the nation that, hey, this was absolutely a fluke. We're still the team that, I think there's money in that. And that's what it all comes down to.
Yeah. There's definitely some sorting out to do.
Go ahead.
No, you're on.
I was just going to say, there's definitely a lot of pushback from the college administration and from the coaching staffs as well, because typically football is done in that first semester. You're not leading into the second semester of school. And we're going to be getting further and further and further into it the more we keep stretching these playoffs, any way that we interpret these bowl games. And there's going to be consequences. Obviously, education, not a high priority in the college football world, but for some it is.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Like I said, there's some sorting out to do here. I think we're in a weird in-between time. We'll see how it all shakes out, but it's not going to change until enough people start screaming about it. I mean, look what Notre Dame did. They just took their ball and went home. If you want to prove that you should have been in there, go play your bowl game and beat them by 60, and then bitch about it on a live and, the after, and then that's when you see change. But the people that are just whining and stomping their feet, and I don't think that is healthy for football. I don't think it's good for the players that aren't going to get to play another game and really want to play. If nothing else, just field a team. Put your third and fourth out there if your starters don't want to go. Hell, put the OC in there to run the team that day. I don't know. Just give us good product and let the guys play out their season, because for a lot of these guys, it is their last time in football, and they're not going to the NFL. So this might have been the biggest game for them. So there's a lot of sides, a lot of ways to look at it. I think, like Dude said, it comes down to the money, and it'll sort itself out, I hope, sooner than later. But just to tie up the Army-Navy game, I do want to go on record as saying I do think Army's got a good team. I love Army, but they just do not have it for Navy this year. I think Navy absolutely covers, and I'm with you, GB. I think we might be looking at an over game.
Very good rivalry game. Everybody on the team exemplifies leadership, yada, 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 every positive word that you want to throw behind it. Outstanding character for all these men. I will say a shout out to Mr. Alex Brewer. He is the newest commit to the Navy midshipmen. He's from Georgia, and he was being recruited by, we'll just say, many teams, including teams that are currently still in the college football playoffs. So
good on him.
He chose to go to Navy. That was the only school that he visited out of all of the offers that he got. He knew where he was going before he was going anywhere. And the fact that he's still being recruited by that top level just shows you that these aren't just military colleges that have players that go out there. I mean, you still are having the top tier talent that just still choose a path of service, we'll say, to start out there. Just saying. Don't sleep on them. Maybe really next year will be the year we see these teams, not saying which one or both, maybe trying to make a run at being college football playoff teams.
Absolutely. And I definitely attribute that to Mr. Brian Newberry. Ever since he's been there, he has really put Navy in a position to control their destiny, which is a cliche, but it's true. I mean, look at last season, another 10-win season, on their way to do it again this season. I mean, even when he got in 2023, they limped through that 5-7 season, but he has absolutely recruited his heart out, and clearly getting that top recruit there that's being heavily sought. 110% attribute that to his work. So very excited to see what they do next year. Mm-hmm. Brian, what game we got coming up next?
Well, last point, no matter what, America wins, right?
There you go.
But next game, I think this is going to be a really good one, man. We got two, I won't say high-powered offenses, but two absolutely solid offenses. Washington, they're limping in at 8-4, which is, you wouldn't think is a bad record, but you can't be 8-4 in the Big Ten anymore. It's just there's too many
The
big
big who?
players. The what? Who? Way too much money there. So that's not going to cut it anymore. I mean, right now they had two undefeated teams until one of those undefeated teams that the Sports Ball Talk guys and the dude and GB and Brian have been talking about for what? I don't know, a couple months now. Finally shut up OSU. So very high powered over there. Boise State, three-peat. May I say that again? Three-peat Mountain West champions. I think they're riding some juice right now, man. I really do. I think they've got enough to play with Washington. I know Washington obviously has a better strength of schedule. But who knows? There's always that chance, right? You always write off Boise State just because it's Mountain West and this and that. But what do you think, GB?
I like Boise State. I really like Madsen when he came back. Him playing in that Mountain West championship was a huge factor that sealed the deal there. They really struggled when he got injured. I think he needs to be able to lead his team calmly and efficiently from the pocket and trying to establish a good run game with Dylan Riley if they want to have any chance of beating Washington. Washington, on the other hand, has not played football since November, and that last game that they played was against the number 5 team in the nation, the Oregon Ducks, which I think that they were able to hold in tight with them for the majority of the game until Oregon pulled away there in that last quarter.
Yeah.
Ultimately, this is Big Ten versus Mountain West. Are we playing the same sport at this point? I like talking up Boise State. I like what they're doing. I love their colorful blue field, but I don't think it's going to be enough come Saturday. I think this game, and I've said this a lot over the season, is not about which team wins. Washington's winning. It's about whether or not Boise State can keep them from covering. And I think it's going to be a right at 10-point difference. You showing 9.5 there. I think it'll absolutely come down to just that half a point, and Washington pulls it away. But I do think it is going to be under the 52.5. What about you, dude?
So I think that Washington is by far the better team here on a neutral field. Absolutely wins and absolutely can cover a 10-point spread, a 10.5-point spread, an 11.5-point spread. 12-point, that's when I'm starting to maybe question if this is a smart decision or not. However, when I see the amount of money being put exclusively on one team, which it is right now, if you look at Vegas with the odds the way they are, you still have 87% of all money going in favor of the Huskies covering.
Oh, no.
Which, to me, there's too many Mr. Krabs out there. You know? I see that, and it's just, okay, well, then clearly Boise State is going to win this game. And that being said, this game went from being a solid game that I was mostly sure that Washington would come out to be the game that I will absolutely not touch, and instead would be doubling down on Navy is going to cover.
I don't know, man. I like Boise State here. They've got that dual-headed monster at running back. They've got Gaines. They've got Dylan Riley. I mean, Riley's got a 1,000-yard season, 10 touchdowns this year. And to be fair, on the other side, you got Coleman. He's got 14 touchdowns this year. I mean, he's obviously the big play guy for them. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. I feel like the Boise guys are riding high off of that championship win. They got their quarterback back. Their wide receivers are not bad. Marshall, Capels, they're big play guys. They can show up. But on the same token, you got Robick and Boston on the other side for Washington. And I just made a short on Coleman with that massive play he made. It was a thing of beauty. You don't see that kind of stuff out of a running back. So everybody's got hands on that team. I think this is going to be an over game. But I am going to take Boise. I think they are going to shut up Washington and all the haters and all the Vegas and take all of y'all's money. So I would love to see a little bit of fireworks here. I think it's going to be a lot of big plays. I don't think the defenses are going to show up that much because you have a strong O-line for Boise State, and you have very strong run defense from Washington. So I think they match up well. I think they match up well to give us a hell of a game. I'm going to be watching this game, but I'm kind of with you. I don't like the betting stuff here just because I think Boise State's going to take it. I'm going to bleed blue a little bit here this week. So that's what I think. That's my little button on top. I just I don't.
I think it's going to be an
Washington
under
taking it.
game. I want to put that out there.
Man, well, we are in different realms on this one, man. I guess we'll have to see how this plays out.
I think me and Dude are in agreement here. So typically when this happens, Brian is usually right. So we'll see how that goes.
Might be my next short.
Right.
Well, I do want to say one last thing about the ticket prices in these games. Army-Navy's ticket prices were around $140 when I looked, which sounds about right. That's a game everybody wants to go to regardless of what your affiliation. If you can get to that game or you're in town or whatever, just go. That's one you don't want to miss. That's old school football. That's the kind of football I like to watch. I love to see a mental and a physical grind in the trenches, and the victor wins, and it just happens like that. So,
yeah, I've heard a lot of people say it's a bucket list game simply because of the pageantry, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the atmosphere as well, and they're very, very high stakes at play. You've got another matchup where you've got teams that have played each other for 126 years, I believe. This is the 126th game that they're playing against each other. So a lot of history there as well.
Yeah. So the prestige for me definitely goes to Army-Navy. As far as Boise State, I've said my piece. If you guys want to put a couple buttons on it, that's fine with me.
What are the ticket prices?
Well, that's the funny part. $24 when I looked. $24.
25.
Come again for Big Fudge? What was that? You say
$25 now. For a bowl.
The LA Bowl?
Hold on. Yeah, this is SoFi Stadium. This is in a place where $25 is what you are going to pay for a beer, what you are going to pay for a burger. This is a cheap ticket.
Maybe that's it. Maybe they're trying to get you in so that they can get you in once you get into the stadium. Surely.
You just fucking.
Well, either way, I'm excited to start the bowl season. I'm really excited to see that Army-Navy game. I watch that every year. I really hope Navy pulls it out, but I would not be sad if Army showed up and just pissed everybody off too. I'm okay with it either way. Like I said, America wins. And, Boise State's going to win. You guys are just going to have to get over it.
I don't see it happening, outro right now.
Well, we'll see you guys soon. We like to jump in live, especially with bowl season coming up. You're going to be seeing us a lot. There's going to be a lot of shorts popping up, daily content if we can. So just check us out, like, subscribe. We have a couple other channels going on. Dude likes to run the Dude Bros podcast. That's a little more breadcrumby stuff. You should check that out if you're interested. And then at the bottom, GB is running lead on Dude Bros Rewind. We are heavy, heavy, heavy Christmas this year. And he has been coming out with some awesome stuff. You have got to check out his jingle all the way short. It is freaking hilarious. So anyway, I appreciate everybody tuning in. We've been your dudes and your Dude Bros. This is Sports Ball Talk, and we'll see you on the field next time, guys.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for having us.